Yeah, very good morning. So I just want to give you first the highlights what we have done in the previous lecture. Uh, we have identified two important discrete random variables. Okay, and one of them was which we have started with the Bernoulli trials. So as I can mention here precisely that by a Bernoulli trial we mean a random experiment whose outcome is either a success or failure with probability some success probability p which may be which is lies inside the interval 0 to 1, and here and that random variable which denotes the Bernoulli random variable. Okay, so that assumes the values either 1 or 0. So 1 will denote the success and 0 will denote the failure. Okay, and it is essentially the same as indicator random variable. Now if we keep on the only trials n times independently, okay, then and if we try to know what will be the probability of getting I successes out of n trials, so that will be, so this independent trial will turn out will have the name as binomial random variables, and where n denotes with the parameters n and p, so where n denotes the number of independent Bernoulli trials occurred. Okay, and the p is the probability of success, the outcome as a success in each Bernoulli trial. Okay, so these are the of parameters, and then we simply write when we have this notation. Okay, so when we have this notation, we essentially mean a random variable x follows binomial distribution, okay, with parameters here. If I be particular, it is ni and p. Okay, now also looked at what will be the expected value and what will be the mean, what will be the variance of the random variable x, and we came to know that variance of that binomial distribution is always lies below the expected value of the same. Okay, and we have the simple formula for getting the expected value and variance for the binomial distribution. Then at the end, yesterday we have also looked at the one of the exercise, that if you take two independent binomial random variables, so it is important to have independence of these two random variables. Okay, then their sum will also follows the binomial distribution. Okay, so here if you want to be more precise, let's say x1 follows binomial distribution with n1 comma p, and x2 denotes distribution with n2 comma p. So the probability of success is remain fixed. Okay, that you should keep in mind. Only what we are doing is here is we are just increasing the number of independent trials. Means, in other words, number of independent Bernoulli trials you are increasing. Means x1 plus x2 means you are, earlier you were with the x1 is going with independent Bernoulli trials 1 times, then you start x2, x1 plus x2, that is how it will be. So x2, then you will continue n2 more times. Okay, so in total x1 plus x2, okay, that is going to be the total number of independent Bernoulli, and since each Bernoulli trial has the probability of success is p, so this essentially will follow the binomial distribution with these two parameters. The proof of this, you can actually go with the you can use the moment generating function for this. Okay, so to show this is if you let x equals to x plus x2, and you try to identify the moment generating function, which we denote by mx of t is nothing but expected value of e to the power tx. Now that is equals to e expected value of e to the power t time x1 plus x2, and which is same as expectation of e time tx1 into e to the power tx2. And we have one exercise in tutorial that if x is independent of y, then their functions are also independent. If you take any function of random variable x and another function of random variable of random variable y, and if x and y are independent, then g of x and h of y will also be independent. So e to the power tx1 and e power tx2 is also independent random variable whenever x1 and x2 are independent. So once you have that independenceness, so you certainly have that is going to be expectation of e to the power tx1, because if you have the independentness, expectation of x into y is expectation of x into expectation of y. Now you can use the will be the moment generating function for the binomial random variable, and which turn out to be okay, that you can, I think okay, so I just explicitly give you what will be the moment generating function for binomial random variable. So if you have, this is let's say what is expectation of e to the power tx, that's our business, right? Okay, so let's say this is equals to summation e to the power tx time nci or ncx p to the power x 1 minus p to the power n minus x, where x is running from 0 to n. And now what you can do is, here is you can have this is equals to summation x equals to 0 to n e to the power ncx time. I can arrange this e power tx with p, so it is p time e to the power t to the power x times 1 minus p to the power n minus x, and that is going to be p time e to the power t plus 1 minus p to the power n. That is moment generating function for binomial distribution. Okay, no, we can't say. Okay, we can't say that may not be true. Okay, so if they are not independent, so that's what it is necessary, because we are going to use the fact that here e to the power tx1 e to the power tx2, these are all are independent random variable, and then we are moving. Okay, now I hope you can complete the proof here. Okay, so I have given you the hint, and it is I can one more thing I can give you the note that the moment generating function, which in short we will say, okay, MGF, moment generating function, identifies a distribution function uniquely. Okay, determines or identifies distribution function uniquely. Okay, so once it has some special type of moment generating function, it will refer to that. So you have, if you have this this type of moment generating function, it will refer to binomial distribution. Means identifies distribution function uniquely. Means there is a 1-1 onto correspondence. Okay, so we are not going into the detail of the proof here for that question. Okay, so that is not required here. So maybe I may give you some separate notes, okay, afterwards. Okay, so now you can fix now with this e to the power tx1 e to the power tx2, and then you see how will it will be looks like. Okay, whether it looks like the same what we have seen earlier. Okay, that we okay, take care. Okay, right now, so when n goes large, so it is not suggestible to go with like this ncx, right? 100 c1 or 100 c2 is fine, but what about 100 c30? Okay, and so on. So when n goes large, and the probability is of getting is small. Okay, so there are two things. One is when the n is going too large, and probability of success is getting small. Why it is? Because otherwise expectation of, if you look at the expectation of the binomial random variable, that is n into p. Okay, so they are, I mean, when n is going large, then probability of success is small, and it's so that expectation is remain finite. Okay, that is what we require. Okay, so in that situation, means you have some approximation of binomial random variable. Okay, so it's better to work with the approximation, which should be a good approximation, that of course. Okay, and we should determine means like what we expect, okay, in a better manner. Okay, so approximation of binomial random variable is turns out to be a Poisson random variable that we are going to look at, okay, just now. After defining the Poisson distribution, first we define the Poisson distribution, and then we will look at how it is going to be an approximation of binomial random variable. Okay, right. So here is the definition of Poisson random variable. So a random variable x taking values. So these are the values. If you identify, these are from the set of natural number and with union with 0. Okay, so this is countably infinite set. Okay, so n goes large, means like n is now from 0, 1 to n. Instead of till n, it is keep on going step ahead. Okay, one step ahead, and it is still countable, but it is going, okay, in that manner. So is said to be Poisson with parameter lambda. So this is the important thing. So with parameter lambda, then we write this as is like we have done. We have written this x follows binomial distribution with parameter n and p. So similarly, we are also writing x follows the Poisson distribution with lambda. So this is the notation. X follows Poisson distribution with parameter lambda. So it's only require one parameter. Okay, if probability mass function, so it's again a discrete random variable because it's defined on the value where the x will take values as countably infinite many. Okay, but it means not on interval. Okay, x is not taking the values on inside an interval and every value. It is a still discrete case. So if its probability mass function is given by this. Okay, so now we are going to look at, okay, how this is going to be approximate of binomial random variable. See, it's suddenly come picture e to the power minus lambda, lambda to the power I by I factorial. So once I have mentioned here, this is a PMF. Okay, so this should satisfy all the property of the PMF. That's this should be strictly greater than 0. Okay, this should be strictly greater than 0. This is I mean the summation over all each value of I, that should turn out to be 1. Okay, so I think I have given, so let me show you that it satisfies all the properties. So Poisson distribution with parameter lambda is here is greater than 0. Okay, lambda is greater than 0, not lambda is negative. Okay, lambda is greater than 0 here. Okay, so now, so since lambda is lambda is greater than 0, so you have this is px of I is non-negative function. Okay, for all I belongs to set of natural number union with 0. Okay, the next what is there is the second property. That's the first thing. The second property is summation I is equals to 0 to infinity px of I. So what is that? It's a one line only. Summation I equals to 0 to infinity e to the power minus lambda times lambda to the power I by I factorial. Now e power minus lambda is independent of I, so that is coming out. What is remaining is I equals to 0 to infinity lambda power I by I factorial. But since you know Taylor series of e to the power lambda, okay, so that's going to be e to the power minus lambda into e to the power lambda, that is going to be 1. So it satisfies both the properties of being a PMF. Has the property of being PMF, and if a random variable has such type of PMF, then we will say that is a Poisson distribution. Okay, right. Now let's look at that first approximation of binomial, then we will come back to that exercise, what will be the possible mean and variance of this Poisson random variable. Okay, right. Now, so let's state that we are going to show that if x follows Poisson distribution, that its mean and variance both are same, equal, and that will be equals to lambda. Okay, so let's consider this. Okay, so let us consider this, that is, this fact is there, so that we are going to show soon. Okay, right. Okay, it will give me the here a clear definition why I have given, why I have defined lambda is equals to n into p, because n into p is a, we have seen that is the expectation of binomial random variable. So let's take that assumption that x follows the binomial distribution with parameter n and p. Okay, right. Now assume that n is large and p is small, such that this n time p is, okay, and let's denote lambda equals to n time p, and which is certainly because p is greater than 0, n is greater than 0, so strictly greater than 0 we require. So p is any belongs to 0 1, small 0 1. Okay, right. Now this will give you the p value in terms of lambda and n. So p is equals to lambda by n. Okay, right. So now let's try to see the distribution now. Okay, now the PMF of binomial random variables, so probability at x equals to I for each I is given by this. Now this is equals to, now I'm going to open it up. So that's going to be n factorial divided by I factorial time n minus I factorial. Now p is lambda by n, so this is lambda by n to the power I time 1 minus lambda by n to the power n minus I. Okay, right. So now this is going to be, now what I'm going to do is, so now I'm going to cancel this n minus factorial with n factorial. So what is remaining is n into n minus 1 into and so on. You are remaining with n minus I plus 1. Okay, divide by this n power I. I'm taking this n to the power I here, and I'm arranging this lambda to the power I by I factorial. Okay, and the next, this bracket now 1 minus lambda by n to the power n into 1 minus lambda by n to the power minus I. Okay, right. So now see, these are how many here, n into n minus 1 into n minus I plus 1, that is I times. Okay, n, you take n to the power n from each factor. Okay, from each factor you take n, in total you will get n to the power I. And so I just want to write now, this is going to be 1 minus 1 by n times 1 minus 2 by n, and so on. This is going to be 1 minus I minus 1 by n by, so there is no divide by, because n to the power I get cancelled now. So this n to the power I is there, n into the power I, lambda to the power I by I factorial, because we are going to look at in the long run, means n tends to infinity. So 1 minus lambda by n to the power n time 1 minus lambda by n to the power minus I. We are looking at the fixed I. Okay, the I is not varying, only n is going to vary. So n to the power I get cancelled. Now this tends to, this factor. So as n tends to infinity, 1 by n tends to 0, 2 by n tends to 0, I minus 1 by n also tends to 0. So only 1 into 1 into 1, I times it will still 1. The first term, this converges, limit, this sequence of this limit converges and converges to 1 as n tends to infinity. The second term, which is independent of n, so is going to be into lambda to the power I by I factorial as n tends to infinity, the second term. Now the third term, 1 minus lambda by n to the power n. You have seen in the calculus that's going to be tends to the e to the power minus lambda as n tends to infinity. And third term is nothing but, so minus I is fixed. Okay, so if I is equals to 0, there is nothing to do, because any power is 0 is 1. So if I, you can say lambda by n, so lambda by n tends to 0 as n tends to infinity. So 1 to the power anything, any power, any integer power is going to be 1 only. So yes, n tends to infinity. So what is but the Poisson distribution as n tends to infinity is e power minus lambda time lambda power I by I factorial. So this gives you that gives you the acceptance that the polynomial Poisson distribution is an approximation of binomial distribution in a long run, okay, when as n tends to infinity. Okay, right. Now let me finish that exercise. That's very simple to say. Okay, so let me have this here. So let's see the solution you can have. What is expectation of x? That's going to be you have this is a summation x time px of x. Okay, x equals to 0 to infinity. Okay, right. So this is equals to summation x equals to 0 to infinity e to the power minus lambda to the power x by x factorial time x. Okay, now so this is equals to e to the power minus lambda is out. Now this is equals to summation x equals to 0 to infinity lambda to the power x by x minus x factorial. So whenever x equals to 0, 0 into something is 0. So I can start with x equals to 1. And then I can cancel with this x. That's going to be x minus 1 factorial. Right? So now, see, this is equals to, I will take lambda out from here. So I will have lambda time e to the power minus lambda summation x equals to 1 to infinity lambda to the power x minus 1 divided by x minus 1 factorial. So which is nothing but, see, x equals 1 means x minus 1 is 0. Okay, so you can use that as a dummy index. So that's going to be lambda time e to the power minus lambda summation. I can write y equals to 0 to infinity lambda to the power y by y factorial. Okay, you can replace x minus 1 by y. Okay, so that is nothing but e power lambda. So that's going to be lambda time e to the power minus lambda time e power lambda. That's going to be lambda. So mean is lambda. Now for obtaining variance of the random variable x, what you can do is you can find out expectation of x square in the same fashion you have to do. Okay, and then you can look at the variance of x. So for finding the variance of x, okay, so now what is expectation of x square? That is going to be summation x square time px of x. Okay, x equals to 0 to infinity. So that's going to be, I'm writing straightforward. You can take it summation x equals to 0 to infinity lambda to the power x square divided by x factorial. Now x equals to 0 will not contribute anything. X equals to 1 you can do. Okay, now this is equals to e to the power minus lambda times summation x equals to 1 to infinity lambda to the power x times x divided by x minus 1 factorial. Okay, right. So now what you can do is I can take lambda out. Okay, I will take lambda out. Okay, and what I will do is I will do this x, I'm going to replace it by x minus 1 plus 1. Okay, I'm going to replace it by x minus 1 plus 1. So what I will get is e power lambda times e to the power minus lambda. So you have summation x equals to 1 to infinity. Okay, 1 is x minus 1 time lambda to the power x minus 1 divided by x minus 1 factorial plus summation x equals to 1 to infinity lambda to the power x minus 1 by x minus 1 factorial. Okay, I am just doing some little arrangement here. Okay, now not that for the first term x minus 1 will not contribute, x equals to 1 will not contribute anything because 0 factorial is 1 and x minus 1, that is 1 minus 1 0, 0 into something is 0. So you can certainly start with x equals to 2. And then you have one more lambda is here is out. So that's going to be equals to lambda time e to the power minus lambda. So that you can, I can leave it for you that lambda plus, you have this lambda time e to the power minus, sorry, not e minus, e to the power lambda plus e to the power lambda. So that's going to be, in total, that's going to be lambda square plus lambda. So from here, you can straightforward find out the variance. So variance of x implies, so variance of x is equals to expectation of x, sorry, expectation of x square minus expectation of x whole square. So that's going to be, so expectation of x square is lambda square plus lambda, and expectation of x whole square is lambda square. So lambda square get cancelled. It's going to be lambda, and which is nothing but the mean. So for the for this Poisson distributed random variable, expected value and variance both are the same. In the limiting case, again you can say in the binomial. Okay, right. Okay, so this same thing you can also may take the help of moment generating function. Okay, so you can also look at the moment generating function, and you can talk about the moment of about the mean, sorry, moment about the origin, or nth moment about the origin, and then you can also relate the variance of x and expectation value of x by using that fact here. Okay, right. Right. So we have already discussed this Poisson as an approximation of polynomial. Okay. So let's take this example. Okay. So let's take this example now. The average number of accidents occurring weekly on a particular stretch of a highway equals 3. Okay. So average number of accidents occurring weekly on a particular stretch of a highway equals to 3. So calculate the probability that there is at least one accident this week. So here's nothing to given that with which the number of accidents occurring weekly follows what distribution. So there will be either one accident, two accident, three accident, four accident. There's no half accident. Okay, they cannot consider any half accident there. So certainly it's going to be referred to be a discrete variable. Now, the second thing is there may be large number of accidents. Okay, there may be a very small number of accidents. We don't know. If it's a season of foggy or winter, okay, there may be large number of accidents. So it's good to consider that X follows the Poisson distribution. And we have only the information that one more important thing is we only have the information that average number, so mean is given to you. So it's no more than that information we have. So it's quite good to understand this by Poisson distribution, because for that only we require the parameter lambda, and which is nothing but the mean of the distribution only. So if you denote X as the number of accidents occurring weekly on a particular stretch of a highway, okay, that follows the Poisson distribution with parameter lambda. Lambda is equals to 3. Now you are interested in the calculate the probability that there is at least one accident this week. Means you are looking at the probability that X is greater than equals to 1. So let X denotes the number of accidents occurring weekly, I'm going to that. Okay, I'm going to that again. So weekly on a particular stretch, of a highway. Okay. So their number of accidents, I'm again going to repeat here. See, X is the number of accidents. There may be no accident, there may be. So X can take values from the set is, I hope that maybe this is you can agree upon. X can take the values from this set. Okay. So means hopefully we have also understood the geometric random variables. Means you are keep on experimenting until you win. Okay, until the first win occurs. But here is no such case. So we are not falling into that geometric random variable. So okay, right. So now what is, there may be one accident, two accident, three accident, and so on. There may be large number of accidents as well happening in the. So certainly we can approximate X can be, because see, we don't know how many number of accidents are there. Okay, so that's why, so we don't know, so we can't talk about here binomial as well. Okay, because we require number of independent accidents, how many accidents have happened. Okay, so X follows the Poisson distribution with lambda. So what is lambda? So lambda in the Poisson distribution is nothing but the expectation value of X. What is that? Means average. Okay, so means mean is nothing but average or mean. That's both are the same thing, synonym. So it is given that in the question that the average number of accidents is 3. Okay, so that's why we can take this as X lambda as 3. Now, so therefore, what is the PMF of this case is nothing but, I'm just going to write, is e power minus lambda, that is minus 3 to the power I divided by I factorial, whenever I equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay. Sorry. Whenever I equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, and 0 otherwise. Now, what we are interested in? We are interested in the probability that there is at least one accident this week. Means we are interested in finding probability of X greater than equals to 1. And what is E? So this is not to find this because summation 1 to infinity you are going to find. So it's easy to find that by using the negation 1 minus probability of X equals to 0. So I will use that fact. So you can, if you want, you can other one as well. So that's going to be 1 minus probability of X equals to 0 is e power minus 3 times 3 to the power 0 divided by 0 factorial. So that's going to be minus e to the power minus 3. So that's going to be something like, I'm just writing you final answer, 0.9502. Okay, right. Now, let's look at one more example. If the average number of claims handled daily insurance company is 5. Okay, so again, only one information is given to us. Average number of claims handled daily by an insurance company is 5. You can see, you can understand. See, insurance company means it's going to be taken care either health. Okay, so we can consider here health claims. Okay, so certainly it is going to be applicable, means like, or it is going to be having a large number of customers. Okay, so we can assume, so it may handle daily either 0 claim or 1 claim or 2 claim, or maybe suddenly many people will be falling, okay, ill, okay, like this corona means this period. Okay, so thing is, but see, whenever insurance company is planning health insurance or something, it will take an average. Okay, and it is making the claim means that the probability of making a claim on any given day. So the insurance company is assumed is going to assume that this is going to be a very small probability, very small chance that certain claim will happen from certain customer. Okay, taken care of premiums and all. Okay, so they will come up with some design for their premiums. Okay, and then they will applicable to all or something. Certainly we can understand this here claims handled by an insurance company as a Poisson distribution. Average number is given, so I think I don't want to repeat. I don't need to repeat here that x if x denotes the average number of claims. X denotes the number of claims handled daily by an insurance company. Okay, so X denotes the number of claims daily by an insurance company. Then X follows the Poisson distribution. Okay, and I think I can leave it for you that average number is 5, right? So it's going to be 5, Poisson distribution with 5. Okay, you can certainly able to write what will be the possible PMF of this. So it is nothing but Px of I is equals to e to the power minus lambda. Lambda is 5, so 5 to the power I divided by I factorial whenever I equals to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, and 0 otherwise. So what we are interested in? We are interested in what proportion of days have less than 3 claims. We require to identify the probability that X is less than 3 claims. Okay, means either 0 or 1 or 2. So we are interested in probability of X less than 3. So I can give you here, that's nothing but the probability of X equals to 0 plus probability of X equals to 1 plus probability of X equals to 2. Okay, so that you can fill it. So e power minus 5 plus e to the power minus 5 times 5 by 1 factorial, 5 to the power 1 plus by 1 factorial, e to the power minus 5 times 5 square by 2 factorial. So you can get that approximated number, but it will be possible. Okay, right. So now see, like we have like I have told you the how to establish the fact that sum of two independent binomial random variable is again going to be independent, again is going to be a binomial random variable. Okay, so similarly you can show that exercise that if x1 follows Poisson distribution with parameter lambda 1 and x2 follows Poisson distribution with parameter lambda 2, then their sum will follow the Poisson distribution with parameter lambda 1 plus lambda 2. So whenever x1 and x2 are independent random variables. Okay, so it is again necessary to have that independence between the two random variables, the Poisson random variables. So definition of, so I can give here that hint is use moment generating function. Okay, generating function here, and which is nothing but expectation of our tx, again in the same way what we have done in the case of binomial distribution. Okay, for solution you can use moment generating function, so that I can left as an exercise for you. Okay, now let's look at one example for this. Right, has been say this example. It has been established that the number of defective stereos produced daily at a certain plant is Poisson distributed with mean 4. So see here, number of defective stereos produced daily, okay, per day at a certain plant is Poisson distributed with mean 4. Over a 2-day span, what is the probability that the number of defective stereos does not exceed 3? So it is given that daily per day it is follows the Poisson distribution with parameter with mean 4, so with parameter 4. So if you denote that X as the this number of defective stereos produced first day. There are 2 days, right, over a 2-day span. So what you can do is I can define, so 2 random variables. Let x1 denotes the number of defective stereos produced during the first day. And let's say x2 is denotes the number of defective stereos produced during the second day. Okay, then what is the probability that the number of defective stereos does not exceed 3? So both, see, xi's, so xi's both follow Poisson distribution with parameter 4, with mean 4. So for I equals to 1, for I is equals to 1 comma 2. So that is given to us. Okay, now what we are interested in, finding the probability that over a 2-day span, what is the probability that the number of defective stereos does not exceed 3, means probability of x1 plus x2. So that will give the 2-day span does not exceed 3, means less than equals to 3. We are interested in this. Okay, now see, it is given that so the number of defective stereos produced daily at a certain plant is this. So over a 2 days, daily means first day and second day. So number of defective stereos are going to be independent. Okay, that can be assumed as independently. Okay, that may not be possible that today you have 100 defective stereos and the second day possible. Okay, so we can assume that here without loss of generality, we can assume that the x1 and x2, so both days, the number of defective stereos produced are independent. Okay, so in that case, we have x1 plus x2 follows Poisson distribution with 4 plus lambda 2, so that is equals to 8. Parameter 4 plus 4 is 8. So now, so therefore now you can find out what is the probability of this. This is going to be a probability of x1 plus x2 is equals to 0, plus probability of x1 plus x2 equals to 1, plus probability of x1 plus x2 equals to 2, plus probability of x1 plus x2 is equals to 3. Okay, and what is PMF of this? I can just give you the PMF is nothing but, so that's so let y is equals to x1 plus x2. Okay, then P of y is equals to, which follows the Poisson distribution with parameter 8. So it's going to be e to the power minus 8 times 8 to the power y divided by y factorial. So y equals to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, and 0 otherwise. Now you can fix for y equals to 0, y equals to 1, y equals to 2, y equals to 3 here, and this implies probability of y less than equals to 3 is equals to summation I equals to 0 to 3 e to the power minus 8 times 8 to the power I divided by I factorial. Okay, so that you can approximate and keep the actual number here. Okay, right. So this is about the Poisson. This is about the Poisson random variable. Okay, right. So now, because it was untouched in during the lecture, that geometric random variables, I will give you an overview about it. Okay. Geometric random variable. Okay, right. So already it is, I hope it is very clear to all of you, but I want to state it here. Okay, right. suppose that independent trials are performed until a success occurs. Okay, and each trial having probability of success is P. Okay, so let's say, as I'm just telling you, so independent, what I'm saying is independent trials are performed are performed until a success occurs. Until a success, that's important, success occurs. And suppose that each trial having probability of success is P. Success is P. And what is P is? P value is 0 less than P less than 1. Okay. Now, let x equals the number of trials required so let number of trials required, number of independent trials are required, means so you are keep on performing until a success occurs. So x denotes the number of trials required for that case. So then certainly x can take the values. So you are going to, means no success is not possible. So you are going to start with the first success, or on the second trial you will get success, on the third you will get success, or fourth trial, and so on. So x can take any values 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay. And since they are independent, each trial having probability of success is P. So I can certainly give you what is the probability mass function here. So it's a probability of x equals to I. So what does this mean? X equals to I means what? So at ith trial you are getting success. And previously you are all I minus 1th trial you are getting your failure. You are getting the failure. Okay, so the failure with probability 1 minus P, and since all are independent, so 1 minus P into 1 minus P and so on, this is going to be I minus 1 times the probability of success, that is P. So that's going to be P time 1 minus P power I minus 1. Okay, for I is equal to 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay, now what is the sum of this summation I equals to 1 to infinity P time 1 minus P to the power I minus 1? That's going to be P is out. And what is this? This is going to be I equals to 1 is, this is 1 plus 1 minus P plus 1 minus P whole square plus 1 minus P whole cube plus and so on. It's a geometric series with common ratio 1 minus P, and which is P is less than 1, so 1 minus P is also less than 1. So hence it is convergent, and converges to what? A upon 1 minus R. So P time 1 upon 1 minus P, so that's going to be 1. So this established that this is essentially a PMF. Okay, this essentially the PMF. All of them are non-negative, and it defines, it assigns the PMF. So any random variable whose PMF is given by this is said to be geometric random variable with parameter. Okay, so I may give you the definition here now. So any random variable x whose PMF is given by given by px of I, that's equals to p times 1 minus p to the power I minus 1, I equals to 1, 2, 3 and so on, and 0 otherwise, is called geometric random variable, and we write x follows geometric with parameter p. P is a probability of success here. Okay, right. Let's take the example now. So the example is here is an urn contains n white and m black balls. Okay, and balls are randomly selected one at a time until a black one is obtained. So getting a black ball is your success. That's what it means, right? Otherwise, you are randomly selecting. Now, further, assume that each one selected is replaced before the next one is drawn. Means once you are taking, you are checking the color and put it back. Okay, then you will draw the next one. Then what is the probability that exactly n draws are needed, or at least k draws are needed? Okay, so certainly see, if you denote x is as the number of draws needed to select a black ball. So that's what, right? Because balls are randomly selected one at a time until a black one is obtained. So you are keep on repeatedly that trial. Okay, you are taking your drawing a ball from urn and you are looking at the color. If it is black, you are succeeded. Otherwise, you put it back and then again you will draw, and you keep on doing this until you will get the black ball. Okay, so let x denotes the number of draws needed to select a black ball. Okay, so see, to getting a black ball, what will be the probability of getting a black ball? Is going to be m, right? M black balls are there out of m plus n. Okay, so the probability of being succeeded is m by m plus n. So therefore, I can straightforward write then x follows geometric distribution with parameter p is equals to m divided by m plus n. If I say I will be winning, or if you are getting the white ball, then you have n divided by n plus n. Okay, and what I'm interested in, so I'm interested in the first part is you require n draws are needed, means I require probability of x equals n, means n draws are needed for getting. Okay, what does that mean? Is nothing but means till n minus 1 you are failure. Okay, and another trial you are succeeded. So that is very easy to fill now. So that's going to be 1 minus p to the power n minus 1 time t. Now you fix the value p equals to m by m plus n, and okay, and you can write it. Okay, you can complete it and you can verify that this is going to be m times n to the power n minus 1 divided by m plus n to the power n. For the second case, k draws are needed. Means what we are looking at is probability of at least k draws are needed to get the success. So now here is to answer this. One way is like you can go with the 1 minus probability of k and use the distribution. Okay, 1 minus probability of x equals to 0, x equals to 1, x equals to 2, and so on, x equals to k minus 1. Another is straightforward here. What we can look at here is we require at least k draws are needed to succeed. Means what will be the probability of that? So that's to be, I say that's going to be the failure. You are going to get failure till k minus 1. That will give you, okay, this at least k, that will that should turn out to be 1 minus p to the power k minus 1. Okay, because at least k draws are needed to get. What is the probability of that? So what is the probability that that's going to be 1 minus p to the power? Okay, right. So that you can verify. Also, you can also look at it as 1 minus probability of x less than k. Okay, and that's going to be 1 minus summation I equals to 0 to I equals to 1 to k minus 1 probability of x equals to I. Okay, so that you can verify that that's going to be this. And what is p is m by f plus. Okay, right. Now the next what we want to show is an exercise. Okay, that is indeed a very easy to show that if x follow geometric distribution with parameter p, then expectation of x is equals to 1 by p and variance of x is equals to 1 minus p by p square. Okay. So I think solution is again you can look at that. Okay, so expectation of x is nothing but summation x times px of x, here starting from 1 to infinity. So that's going to be summation x equals to 1 to infinity x time. So px time 1 minus p to the power x minus 1. Okay, right. So now this is how we are going to arrange this is going to be p time summation x equals to 1 to infinity. So x time 1 minus p time p to the power x minus 1. So this is a combination of AP and GP series, right? X into 1 minus p to the power x minus 1. Okay, so now I hope you can, so this is a series. Okay, so this is series with combination of AP and GP that you can look at, and you can, okay, so let me, it's nothing but 1 into, so you are looking at this S is equals to summation equals to 1 to infinity x time 1 minus p to the power x minus 1. Okay, right. So what you can do here is, so this is nothing but you have, this is 1 minus p, that is this is going to be x equals to 1. So this is 1 plus 2 times p plus 3 times 1 minus p whole square plus 4 times 1 minus p whole cube and so on. Okay, now what is 1 minus p times s? Right. So I can use that fact here now. What is 1 minus p times s? That is going to be 1 minus p plus 2 times 1 minus p whole square plus 3 times 1 minus p whole cube plus 4 times 1 minus p to the power 4 and so on. So now if you take the difference, so what you will, s minus 1 minus p times s, so that's going to be p times s, you take the difference. Okay, now what is there is that is equals to 1 plus 1 minus p plus 1 minus p whole square plus 1 minus p whole cube plus and so on. And that is nothing but the geometric series with common ratio 1 minus p, and which has, this is going to be 1 upon 1 minus p, right? So that's going to be yeah, so this is going to be 1 by p. So this implies s is equals to 1 by p square. So we have already, now we have this s equals to 1 by p square. So this is equals to p times s. Okay, so what you observe from here is, okay, this implies expectation of x is equals to p times s, that is 1 by p square. So that is going to be 1 by p. Okay, now similarly you can obtain, okay, similarly you can find out, okay, that expectation of for variance, what you can do is you have to find out variance of x, means you are going to suppose expectation of x square minus expectation of x whole square. Okay, so you can determine in the same fashion that expectation of x square. Okay, like this. Okay, so that I can leave it as an exercise for you that you can do. Okay, if it is not, okay, then you will let me know in the next session. I will, before the next session, okay, then I will give it or supply the solution. Okay, right. Yeah, moment generating function of for Bernoulli trials. Yes, it is straightforward, no? Not, I think that's very straightforward. So if you look at the Bernoulli trials, so moment generating function of, you can say, Bernoulli random variable. So x follows the Bernoulli distribution, means x is equals to 1, success. Okay, if your outcome is a success, and 0 if outcome is a failure. Okay, you have two outcomes. Now probability of x equals to 1 is p, and probability of x equals to 0 is 1 minus p, the failure. Now certainly you have the expectation of, so moment generating function which we denote by mx of t, that's nothing but expectation of e to the power tx. So that's going to be, you have summation only you have, this is for 0 into, okay, so this is not 0. Okay, so this is going to be summation x times px of x. Okay, this is going to be, we are interested in expectation of e to the power tx. So this is equals to summation e to the power tx times px of x. So x is belongs to 0 and 1. So this is going to be e to the power 0 is 1, right? So 1 minus p is at x equals to 0, plus at x equals to 1 e to the power t and p. So this is the moment generating function for Bernoulli random variables. Now see, sum of Bernoulli independent random variable will give you, so the binomial distribution. So that's why in the binomial distribution you are getting the power of this is n. Okay, right. Okay, thank you then.